I'm going to share with you my origami original. It's called my infinity fish. So it's based on a very simple origami base, but it can make very different kinds of fish at the end depending on how you play with the base or the model as you go. This is definitely for someone who's got medium to advanced skills in origami. If you're able to fold most of like John Montrol's work, then this should be fairly simple. But there are a multitude of techniques that you can use to get a huge variety of fish, which is why I'm calling it the infinity fish. And I'm working on a book about it to kind of show directions and some variations. So I want this video as kind of a supplement to that book. But for those of you who don't need the book, well, you're going to learn how to do it today. So I'm going to set these two little guys aside, and I'm going to show you the base for this and where I got the idea. And it's from an old figure that is a samurai hat, but it can also be turned into a fish. So a lot of you are going to recognize this super basic model. It doesn't include the water bomb base or the bird base or anything like that. So it's a very simple piece of origami that probably goes back to about 800 years. So we've got our two little fins coming out here. These will become fins, but they're also the spikes on a samurai hat. So we fold that, do a little fold here, and then again. And if you fold this back part up, then you get the classic samurai hat. Now, to change from this to a fish is fairly easy. You fold the back of the hat back down, and then you open the hat and bring what I call the ears of the hat together. And you can almost see the fish sort of emerging. Now, I've seen directions for this where people just take a scissor and kind of cut out a fish tail sort of look on there. I hate cutting, particularly for origami. But for the figure that's kind of classically known out there that at least doesn't waste material, along that line that was the back of the hat, you cut from the base about halfway, maybe a little bit beyond halfway, and then you do a flip and pinch fold here. And then you get, kind of a gold fish. Now, I like this for my elementary kids and even maybe some, middle school kids, because if you put a hole right up here, it balances perfectly because half the paper is on each side. So, I know you're looking at it from above, but you can see that it balances. And you can make a bunch of these and put strings and tape them to the top of a jar, put some blue cellophane around it, and then it kind of looks like, a little terrarium. So that's cute. But what always bothered me about this figure is this need to cut. And I thought, well, let me push myself and see what I can do without cutting it. And it's going to include some inverting of the paper. So I'm going to fast forward as I refold the fish, and I'm going to show you how I do the tail and how it leads to the infinity fish. All right. So this isn't very advanced. A lot of you will probably be able to handle this, but you can take the tail and fold up like this. And I like making a hinge fold, so it makes folding a little bit easier. So both sides on the same line. Okay. And then we invert this by popping this up. And I like to tuck it underneath the fins. And then you see we have the beginnings of a tail. So now we need to create a crimp fold in here. So, one way I can do that is do some hinge folds, 3 of them. And then I can go ahead and just kind of pinch it in there. And then I crimp down these little angles down here so that I want this corner to be up a little bit to define the tail. So I'm going to fold along here, up. I don't want to go too deep. And we're starting to get some definition, so I'm going to do the same thing here by folding underneath. I can do it that way if I want to, or I can fold it inside. So now we've got a little more definition in the tail. If you like it a little bit more out, you can make some adjustments to that. But you get the idea of now we've created a fish. It still balances on that point, but now it's got a tail. Now obviously the tail is a different color than the rest, so you could use a two-sided colored paper if you like. But I don't mind, that sort of happening with the paper, so we know what's front and what's back. So I'm going to show you another variation, and I'm going to stop along the way to show you where you can make some adjustments. Instead of going straight up like this, I'm going to go up less. So that's another variation that I can do that will affect the fins. Now I need to know where the halfway mark is, so I go ahead and fold it in half. And then I just match this up so both sides are even. Okay. So when I fold up, to make my fins and then fold out, again, I don't have to follow that rule exactly. Maybe when I fold up and out, maybe I want to fold beyond that area. So I can kind of crimp down here and make the fins stand out even more by doing that. So I want to match that with the other side. So we go up, and then I match the out. And then I just want to make sure I'm doing the same thing on both sides. Yep. Okay. And we open her up. Now, this extra space is going to give you a flat top on your fish like this. And you can countersink the top. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the face. And you want to line up that center line, of course. Now when we close up the fish, you're going to see that that part wants to pop in. So find your center first, and then go ahead and countersink that down. Okay, and you can see that that elongates the fish quite a bit. So you can play around with the the shape, and you can make things pop up if you want to. It's a little hard to do, but again, I'm making the tail. Now I'm going to exaggerate the tail even more. So I'll try and get the fins out of the way. Maybe not. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. And now I'm going to go here. I'm at the base of the fin, and I'm kind of lining up with the face. Do that to the other side. Try and get the fin out a little ways. Okay. And then I can go ahead and turn it inside out. So I'm going to need to reverse these fin folds. I'm going to tuck one behind the other so the fin stands out on top. Now you might like that as is. You may want to put that little corner in there. All right, so now we've got our fish. Again, the fins are a little bit more prominent, and now it's got more of kind of an angelfish face. So other things that you can do with this is just, play around with the different folds. It's very, very forgiving, and you can get quite a variety of fish designs just from that one base. All right. Enjoy folding. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy this new way to approach origami with the infinity fish.